Hello everybody, welcome. It's Saturday night, it's Crafters TV, and that means we're going to have a masterclass on Nature's Garden. I do hope you've had a fantastic Saturday. I do hope you have something lovely planned for Sunday, but sit back and relax because we've got lots and lots of things to show you all about Nature's Garden. Lots of people are messaging in to say hello, so we'll do a few hellos at the start. Robin says, hey everybody. Facebook's back, woo! Kristen Mahoney says, well, hello, Facebook. Jeffrey says, I'm happy to hear you and Linda, hear from you and Linda, and thanks for getting Facebook back up and running. Tim C is saying, hi everyone, from a beautiful Nottinghamshire. Do message in if you've got any questions for Lily, because of course, it's not just me over on this side of the studio, it is the lovely Lily Fletcher on the other side. We could just quiz her all evening long. That's what we're going to do.
Any sort of question, crafting or otherwise. I'm here for 2 hours. Why on earth not? Let's do it. So let's make it a fun show. Saturday night. Why on earth not?
Absolutely. I think maybe we should make you our very own Google.
Oh, great.
Any kind of question we're going to ask you. Yeah.
I was thinking questions more from my opinion rather than me being knowledgeable. But I will do my very best. Any sort of questions get me, we'll do our best. It's what it's all about.
I think that's going to be a good way of finding out what people want to ask Lily. Maybe there's been a burning question you've been thinking, you've been watching the shows and you've been thinking, oh, I really must ask that question. This is your opportunity to message in, ask Lily any question at all.
Random or otherwise. Yeah, the more random the better.
Yeah, I quite like a random question.
I like a random question, yeah. Or I quite like would you rather.
Oh, I like one of those.
Like stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. The one my son always says, would you rather be a boy with a dog's head or a dog with a boy's head?
Ooh, interesting. Tell you what, it would be quite a good crafty one.
What?
Would you rather have all 12 by 12 pads or all 6 by 6?
Oh, Lily.
Yeah. 12 by 12, bigger is better.
I think 12 by 12.
Yeah.
Go back to the dog one. Do you have all the senses of a dog? Yeah, all right.
Well, I was thinking, do you have a dog's brain?
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, if you get a dog's head, you're going to have a dog's brain, aren't you?
Well, I don't want a dog's head. I don't want a dog's brain.
Do you not want to? So you'd rather be a boy with a dog's head or a dog with a boy's head?
Dog with a boy's head.
A dog with a boy's head. Okay.
Yep. There we go. That one's sorted. That one's easy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Brilliant. Any more questions? Let us know. It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Laurie's here saying, yay, it's much easier to chat on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Beautiful day here in Gilbert, Arizona. It's going to be 70 degrees. Ooh. Wow. And then Harvey is saying, woohoo, we're back on Facebook. Yes, we are back. We are back. Now, if you missed the last show, you're going to know that there's a particular item that is sold out on the first show, or not first show, last show. The template library you've all been waiting for has sold out, but we do have some other amazing deals for you. And of course, we have the outlet sale, which is still on until the 26th of January. So if there's anything you're going to be purchasing today, make sure you have a look on there just to see if there's some things there that you think, oh, actually, I really need those. It's always good to look at the bargain section. It's just like going to the supermarket looking for those yellow stickered items, isn't it?
Oh, I have like laser-like vision for yellow labels. Yeah, I tell you what I got last night. We were talking about this earlier. Monge 2. 42p.
Oh, nice.
They're like the fancy, finest ones as well, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have tunnel vision for the yellow labels. I'm there like blinking, head down. I love a bargain. Whether it's craft, whether it's in the supermarket, I love a bargain. So get yourself on that outlet sale because I've already had a few bargains on there, let's be honest.
I'm going to let you into a little secret.
Oh, go on.
So the best deals to have food-wise, if you go to something like a Marks & Spencer's or a Waitrose that's just opened, they can't quite work out what stock levels they have. So when it comes to the end of the evening, there's loads and loads of things that are yellow stickered. So for the first couple of months, so brand new branches of supermarkets and things like that, it takes them a bit of time to work out what levels they need for the stock. That's the time to get your good bargains.
Wow. Not just questions, not just would you rathers, but life hacks as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all going off on this Saturday night. Where else would you be? Let's be honest. It's all happening here.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned for a fun 2 hours. It's going to be a rocky ride.
Going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah.
Bumpy ride.
In the best possible way.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to get started. So the first item we have is the 12 by 12 paper pad that you can see just here. This is a delightful Daisies paper pad. Can I flick through it? Oh, I've got another one down here. Let me flick through. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. It's around here. That's just there. I've got one here. So here's one we prepared earlier. Beautiful 12 by 12 paper pads, as always. One side is more detailed than the other, but they both work beautifully together. I love all these soft tones that you get in here. Those beautiful soft cornflower blues and those beautiful sunflower yellows you get in this. It is absolutely beautiful paper pad here. 12 by 12. You've got loads of beautiful images there, as well as you've got some sort of wood print in there as well. Someone's been using this one. I do feel like I was at a, but I felt like Stephen Mulhern then. £14.99 or $19.99. Platinum price is $11.99 or $15.99. This is a beautiful paper pad, isn't it, Lily?
It certainly is. Oh, this is a stunning paper pad. I love this one. I love the colour tones in this paper pad. It's something a little bit different. The colour tones I don't tend to usually go for, but I absolutely love that contrast of your blue with that pop, that real juicy pop of your lovely yellow on there. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to start off by doing a little bit of matting and layering using some of these beautiful papers. Then we're going to bring in some of the dyes and additional items as part of that delightful Daisy collection. But the star of the show really is these amazing papers. So here we've taken one of the sheets from that 12 by 12 pad. You can see the reverse is absolutely gorgeous with that wood grain. That could be ideal for your gents cards as well as your ladies cards. Lots of versatility with the B side of this paper pad. It's one I think you'll be using time and time again, and I know I was absolutely delighted when we got this back in stock, because I have to say I didn't have many sheets left in my old pad because it's one that I go to time and time again. And in order to pick out that lovely yellow pop that we've got within those pattern papers, all we've done is we've taken a piece of textured cardstock in that lovely bright sort of yellowy, slightly orangey colour tone, and we've matted and laid our pattern paper onto there with that thin 1/4 of an inch increment all around the edge. Then we've created our card base using some of our multi-purpose card. Quite a nice large card for this one. It's going to measure 7 inches by 7.5 in height. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take this lovely matten layer and we're just going to add this onto our card base. Now, if I was crafting at home, I probably would be gutting the centre out of this yellow cardstock, just because you're not going to see the middle of that there. You can of course take that centre section out and use that on another project if you so choose. And that's our matten layering done. I mean, that is so good. You could almost have that on a frame, just in a box frame as it is. It's that beautiful. You've got all those layers to the paper. So in the background, you can see you've got that wood grain that we had on the reverse design. Then you start to notice the foliage, all of those beautiful daisies that we've got on there. You've got other flowers as well. You've got almost like faux scratch marks, like you've sanded back parts of the paper there. Just absolutely beautiful, all of the detail that you've got within that pattern paper. But we're going to leave that to one side, employing my favourite trick of actually popping that under my Gemini plates just to let that set, to let it sort of lie flat as it dries. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some vellum. I absolutely adore vellum. We showed a little technique on this morning's Play a Craft Right using some of our vellum from the Floral Elegance collection. That's our signature range that we launched earlier this week. But here what we're doing is we're doing that same technique of popping some of our dotty tape pen onto the back of our vellum, onto that reverse side, and then we're just going to take a piece of white cardstock, and all we're going to do is we're just going to line that up from the reverse. I find it a little bit easier to line it up from the back side rather than from the front, and we're just going to glue that onto there. And because it's such lovely quality thick vellum, you can't even see the adhesive onto that printed vellum there at all, which is fabulous because it makes it nice and easy to adhere that vellum. And like I was saying this morning, I do favour my tapes to actually adhere my vellum, just because you don't want a wet adhesive that's got a lot of moisture in it, because it will cause that vellum to sort of wrinkle and buckle, which is not what you want. So something like a red liner tape's ideal, or your tape pens work a treat, as we've just seen there as well. And then once again, to keep that design flow, to keep that sort of matching element in terms of our mats and layers, we're matting and layering that onto some more of that lovely yellow cardstock, so everything's going to tie together. Then let's bring back in our card base, and we're just going to place that matting layer into the centre of our card. Super simple. It would be if I could find my foam tape. There you are, hiding under my foam pads. But let's raise that up for that extra bit of dimension. By adding some foam tape into your layers, it adds more interest, it adds more depth and height to your cards. I always think it just gives it more of a professional, more of a sort of an expensive looking touch as well, which is really going to quite literally elevate your makes, pun intended. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to peel our backing off of our foam tape. And this is just going to sit into the centre of our card base. I love building up all the layers, all those mats, all those different papers, bringing in vellums as well. I love that sort of process of building your card layer on layer and really sort of seeing it come to life with all the depth on those lovely papers. Now with this one, I don't think there's really a right or a wrong way to that pattern paper or that vellum even. So let's just go that way and make sure that we've got an even border left and right, top and bottom, so that is central onto our card base. And that's our card all built up. But how beautiful is that? With that paper in the background, your vellum on top, it gives you a really nice,
lovely,
ethereal sort of look and feel by having your vellum. But we're going to leave that to one side for a moment while we actually start to concentrate on our decoration. And I did say earlier that I was going to bring in some of the dies that we've got as part of that amazing Nature's Garden Delightful Daisies collection. I believe you should find individuals of these over on the website at an amazing price if you are wanting to go for these fabulous dies. We're starting off with a spring border. And this is almost like a create a card sort of die. So within the set, you've actually got two separate dies. At first, it looks like you've only got the one, but they are actually two separate dies, which is fabulous because it gives you so much versatility. So that inner die is actually a cut-in die. Cut that on its own, and it's going to cut that design into your cardstock, with that design staying in that piece of card. But bring in that outer die and it's going to cut that design out as a separate panel, and that's what we're going to do for this particular card. We're going to cut out our detail as a panel rather than cutting it into our card base. So let's line that up, and here I've got some of our white linen card. You will find that over on the website. Lovely quality 300 GSM card, big bumper pack of this as well over on the website. So if you wanted to stock up on your lovely quality linen card that die cuts like a dream, and then do check out the website. Couple of pieces of low tack tape onto there just to make sure that those dies don't move as we run that through our die cutting machine, and then we'll just pop that through our Gemini 2. Now of course that will fit through your smaller machines, even all the way down to your Gemini Mini. So if you've only got those smaller machines, then you can still use this die. But you can see here we're not creating a small card by any means at all. 7 inches by 7.5 inches is a large size card, but even just using these slightly smaller dies and starting to build all of those designs together, you can still create your larger cards, which I think is brilliant because it gives you more versatility with your dies. So all we need to do now is just remove our die from the die cut. So making sure that, of course, as always, we save our low tack tape that we've got off the reverse. And then we just need to pop that out of the die. Now the beauty of these dies is not only do they cut that beautiful detail into your cardstock, they also give you some of that debossed detail into the centre of the daisies there. So perfect sort of placement for your gems and your pearls, which is what we'll be doing a little bit later on in this demo. So we've got that gorgeous design onto there, just like so. What we've also done is we've taken the outer die and we've just cut that on its own, so that's going to lay over the top, and it gives you that lovely patterned backing to go against that beautiful detail. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take some of our dotty tape pen, and we're literally just going to stick this onto our panel that we've got, our backing, so that we're going to have the lovely blue pattern paper showing behind this die cut. And all we've used for that is just the reverse of that pattern paper that we actually layered onto our card base at the very start. So everything's going to tie together perfectly. So just pop that onto there like so. If you do sort of not line it up perfectly, no worries at all. Just go in with your pair of scissors and just cut that edge off. But of course, if you're using something like your tacky glue, it means that you've got that little bit of wiggle room. But it doesn't matter either way, because just cut that off like so, and it gives you that lovely neat finish. Now all we've done is we've done this twice more, so we've taken a couple more of the backers and a couple more of the detail, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to do that same technique of adding our tape onto the back of these and sticking them together. Nice and simple to do.
Fantastic. I've got a few comments here. Audrey says, I always find it easier to talk on YouTube. I think a lot of you are saying that, so we're glad we've got YouTube back. We've got a question from Rose. Yeah, I think Facebook. Hi, Becky and Lily. This is from Rose. I recently bought the funky foam packs.
Ooh.
If I use it to die cut, what glue is best to use with it?
What
glue?
What glue? Okay, so I tend to go for either my, you can use your tacky glue with it. I go for either my tacky glue, I use my red liner tape sometimes, or your hot glue gun will work as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if I'm using a glue, I will go for my tacky glue.
If you used like all-purpose, does that not work because it's a solvent?
I would just find it would take a lot longer to dry. I wouldn't go for your all-purpose. I'd go for something like your tacky glue for something like
perfect. That. Tim C wants to know how people store their paper pads. Do you take them out Or do you put them in colour themes or leave them as they are?
Well, the way I store mine, all my 12 by 12 pads, and it's actually the same for my 6 by 6 pads as well. What I do is I've got all of the Totally Tiffany paper takers, which are like the clear ones with the little black handles, and I store all my Crafters Companion ones together. So when they're not part of specific ranges, so for example, I'm trying to think like Venetian Grace.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Nature's Garden, it wasn't a Sarah signature, it was just sort of a standalone Crafters Companion range. I've got, I don't know, maybe 3, 4. Crafters Companion 1 is the latest, Crafters Companion 2 go back in time, Crafters Companion 3 the oldest. And I do the same for my Nature's Garden. So all of my Nature's Garden paper pads, I've got Nature's Garden 1, which is the most recent. So like I've got Kingfisher in there, Fuchsia, etc. And it goes back in numbers. There's quite a few for some of them. Well, that's the way I store them. And I've got certain ones, if I've got 12 by 12 coloured pads, like when we did the Summer Meadow, we had the 12 by 12 linen card. I've got like a linen card one. I've got a luxury card one. So when we do the mixed packs, you know, the gold, the silver, the rose gold, I have all of those in one. So sort of categories, but I like to have them in chronological order as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm quite proud of the way that I've organised them, I have to say.
So if you've got, for example, you've got the collection, the Delightful Daisies collection, maybe you got that. Would you store everything together? Would you store your paper pads together as well as your dies, everything for that collection?
That is a great question. No.
No.
So what I do is I take the cardstock and the paper, they're all stored separately. So I also have a shelving unit that's got like all my linen card in my A4 packs. So the cardstock and the paper pads come out, but everything else within the collection, so the dies, the stamps, sometimes if there's like gilding flakes, I'll take those out as well. Those go into more paper takers, but this time either the 6 by 6 size or 8 by 8 inch size, depending on the largest item in the collection. And I'll fit maybe 2 collections in one of those, and they're all sort of lined up. So like I might, for example, have Kingfisher and Fuchsia in one. That'll be labelled, it'll be stacked up. But yeah, I always take the paper pads out.
Okay, so you've got all the paper pads in the paper takers, and you've got a room for those. And then you've got another room that has your stamps and your dies. And then another room that has projects you're currently working on. Am I being a little excessive here, or am I almost getting it?
Almost, yeah. I'll have a shelving unit that will be like Nature's Garden. And I'll have a shelving unit that will be like paper pads.
Wow.
But yeah, I have to say, where I used to live, it was not very organised. Everything was everywhere. And I told myself, when you move, when you're in your new house, everything has to be organised. And let me tell you, it was a task and a half, but I'm trying to think, we're about 3-4 months down the line. I moved in October, and it's still organised. I cannot tell you what a difference it makes when you're crafting, knowing where everything is. Honestly, it is amazing. It's so much more inspiring as well. So my best tip when it comes to organisation, just do it, because it makes a massive difference.
Wow, I mean, I am in awe, actually. I am the most disorganised person in the world, and I feel I think you're right, everyone is compared to that. That is amazing. Terry Addison says she's finished the craft along and emailed in the project. It might stump Lily. Interesting to see how that. Lynn likes the fact that you're matching your crafting projects with your nails.
So you know what, I keep doing it and I don't realise I'm doing it. And then I do. Is like last time when I got my nails done, it was red and I was creating lots of red cars, and I don't realise I'm doing it, but I am. It's not intentional, honest.
That's impressive. We've got other questions here as well while you're going through all those demos. Tim C says, quick question, for mat and layering, I've got the violet paper cutter for 12 by 12 papers, but seem to struggle to understand as there's lots of numbers. How best do you measure the layers? So if you've only got the paper trimmer, how do you... Can you store the markings of those 1/4 inch markings on the paper tape, the paper trimmer?
We've got one here, let's have a look. So our Violet Studio trimmer. So on here, you've still got your grid lines onto your trimmer. You can see at the top there, you've got your centimetres and you've got your inches as well. And your grid on there is going up in 1/4 inch increments. So you can see there, that's an inch, so that's going to be 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. So exactly the same sort of idea. So for example, if I was wanting to cut this cardstock here, I would use the grid, so that's 0. So if I was to cut there, obviously that doesn't cut anything off, but if I was wanting to cut 1 inch off, I'd line that up with the 1 inch line there, and then I'd just go in and trim that. I'm not going to trim it because I do need this piece of cardstock later, but you can see that centre point there where you've got your channel where it cuts, that's 0, and then towards the left hand side that's 1, 2, 3, etc. and etc. But I do believe this ruler actually comes out, am I right?
It comes out at an angle, doesn't it?
It sort of swings out, I think. yeah, it swings out. There you go. So you've got your extending arm, very much like with your guillotine. You've got that extendable arm, so then it takes your measurements from 3 inches all the way up to 14 inches. So if you have got a longer piece of cardstock like this one here, you can still do those measurements, but just don't forget that channel down the centre there is 0, and then it counts up so you can do your measurements nice and easy. I hope that answers your question. If not, please let us know and I'll do my best to re-answer it.
Thank you very much. That's brilliant.
There we go. So all we're going to do now is we're going to start to pop our card together. So we've got 3 of these lovely panels that are going to go onto our vellum, but of course we need a little bit of lift, so we're going to bring in some of our foam pads. I'm running low on foam tape. I'll have to fetch another roll in just a minute, but these strip foam pads will be absolutely ideal. So let's just peel that off the sheet and just trim the very edge off. And these are just going to be layered onto our card base. Quite a simple design, but I think it's nice to have that almost like a triptych sort of effect on here. I think it works quite nicely with these panels, but showing as well that although these are smaller dies, as we were saying earlier, you could be fitting this through your mini machine. You can still create large cards even if the dies themselves aren't large dies. Now, a top tip for anything like this, when you're doing your triptych design and you're trying to actually space that design out, oh, have I got a pesky foam tape here that doesn't want to peel off? Let's just bring our pokey tool in. But if you've got anything like this, it's exactly the same as if you're spacing out, maybe you've got our new alphabet dies and you're trying to get that even spacing when you're spelling out a particular word on your card. My best tip is going to be to actually line up your 2 outer ones at the 2 very edges and then line up the ones in the centre. That way you're not going to sort of start off the word and then you get towards the end of the word, you're like, oh, I'm running out of space here, which is never good, is it?
No.
So the easiest way, I think, is to actually line up your 2 outer ones first and then going for your middle. So what we want in here is we want an even border on the left hand side and the top and bottom. So let's just line that up onto our card just like so. And then let's go in with our one on our right hand side. So again, even border at the right as we've got at the top and the bottom there. And then hopefully, all being well, we should have one which will fit perfectly into the centre, and that looks about right to me. So a lot easier to line up those 2 outermost ones first and then pop that one in the middle.
Lovely.
Now, for a little bit of extra detail, we're going to bring in one of our sentiment dies that I do believe we've got on a last chance on the show, and this comes to us as part of one of our older Nature's Garden collection, the Lilly collection. It had to be done, didn't it? My namesake here. So what we're going to do is we're going to die cut the With Love. So you get 2 sentiments included here. You get the congratulations and you also get the With Love. So let's go in with the With Love onto some of our orange yellow cardstock that we've been using for all of those mats and layers. And let's just line that up onto there, and we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. And because it is that smaller format of die, we've just popped it onto that top edge there of our card. All we're going to do, we're going to run it through, wait for that pitch to change. And then once we've heard that's die cut, we're just going to pause it, we're going to reverse it back out, because we don't need to run the plates all the way through if we don't need to. It's just going to save us that little bit of time, which is always a good thing. So there we've got our beautiful die cut sentiment. It does die cut the 2 words separately. So you've got the with as one separate piece, and then you've also got the love onto there as well. So let's just pop that out just like so. Remove those couple of little pieces from our die, and that's going to give us that beautiful sentiment. And all we've gone ahead and done just already is we've die cut that again, but this time using those lovely pattern papers, the reverse once again of that design that we used for our matting and layering when we first started creating our card. And all we're going to do is a little bit of drop shadowing. So let's take our lovely dotty tape pen, which makes it nice and easy to get into all of that fine intricate detail within our die. Pop some of that onto the reverse. Your tacky glue and your fine tip glue applicators will work an absolute treat as well. And then we'll take our with, line that up so we've got our yellow underneath, and it's going to be slightly down and slightly towards the left hand side of our die cut. So let's line that up onto there just like so, nice and easy to do. And then we'll do exactly the same with the love on that left hand side. Might pop a little bit of tacky glue onto there just to give me a little bit of time to manoeuvre this into position if you so choose. And it's one of those with your drop shadows. People do it in different ways. Some people will put the colour underneath slightly towards the left or the right. There's no sort of one direction that's going to be the perfect way to do it. It's completely personal preference when it comes to the way that you position your drop shadows. So that is down to you entirely. We're going to pop that onto there. Then I've just got a piece of white cardstock. I might actually, let's matte and lay that first onto some of our orange cardstock. I keep calling it orange. Would we say orange? Would we say yellow?
I think it's sympathetic cheese.
Sorry, come again.
Sympathetic cheese.
What does that mean?
That's what I call like plastic cheese, not burger cheese.
Oh, yes, it is.
No,
isn't it?
I call it sympathetic. So I do the same with, I don't know why, it's one of those weird things that you do when you're little, and I always call it sympathetic cheese and sympathetic cream. So that squishy cream that comes in a can is sympathetic cream. It's not that it feels emotionally attached to you or anything like that. It's just what I call it. But it is that kind of bright sort of yellowy orange colour, isn't it?
It's funny now you've said that, I'm not going to be able to unsee it,
no.
am I? Yeah, but I can see exactly what you're saying there. Absolutely, I can.
There's certain things, so like when my daughter was little, she couldn't say apple, she said popple. And now, quite a few of my friends call them popples because they just got used to hearing her say popples. One of my friends, when he was little, he had to write out a recipe for a school book or something, and he wrote out a recipe that his mum had given him about risotto, but he didn't spell it as risotto, he spelt it risotto, and that's what we call it. You know, he's nearly 50, but in my house, risotto is known as risotto.
That is funny. I tell you, one of the words I could never say growing up, it was radiator.
Oh yeah.
I used to call it the radiator. And that's what my mum always says it now. Have you put the radiator on? Like, yep. Yeah, it was a mix of radiator and heater, and I couldn't get my head around the fact that there were actually two separate words and I had to choose one. I just wanted to be greedy and use both words.
That's quite sweet, isn't it? I like those little idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, they are quite cute, aren't they? So there we go, that is our sentiment all drop shadowed and matte and layered onto our little backing plate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop this onto our card base. So once again, let's bring in some of our foam pads in order to do this, making sure that we don't add too many onto the back of there. So let's have one around about there, and then we'll have another one on that side just like so. And then I think we'll layer that up something like that. So let's have one on that very left hand side, and that's going to allow us to have that balancing onto our panels that we've got. So that's just going to stick onto there, I think around about there, trying to make sure it's nice and straight and level. That looks about right at this time on a Saturday evening. And then just to finish it off, I have got a couple of butterflies that we can just place onto here just as that little finishing touch. So shaping those wings, could be any butterfly die, just anything to add a little bit of detail. I've got a couple, but I don't know if we just want, let's go for both, why not? I've cut them, may as well use both of them. So adding the shape into the wings, it's going to give that effect almost like they're flying, so stopping them from being sort of flat, lifeless little die cuts, gives them that little bit of movement, that extra bit of interest onto our card. And just belt and braces approach, as always, let's bring in some of our tacky glue onto the very centre of the body. Let's have that one onto there, just like so, flying in that certain direction towards that left, and then let's bring in the other one, and I think we'll have this one flying in the opposite direction, so let's just place that down, I think something like that, just as that finishing touch, and it draws your eye into the centre by having that balance on that bottom right hand side and the top left hand side. Quite a simple card in design, but it shows how you can use some of those items from the Nature's Garden Daisies collection alongside those amazing 12 by 12 inch pattern papers. Aren't they just absolutely gorgeous? Probably not the colourway that I'd usually go for, but doesn't it work an absolute treat? And like I say, always be inspired by those paper pads. The colours in those paper pads absolutely work, so be inspired by those to create something really quite pretty.
That's beautiful, very, very pretty, really like that. So this is using the Delightful Daisies, a 12 by 12 paper pad. You're going to get 36 sheets in here. The colours are beautiful. If I quickly flick through, you can see the absolute joyous imagery you've got here. Very pretty, lots of blues, greens and yellows. It is really lovely. There's that pesky piece of paper that keeps on falling out. Beautiful slip. It's £14.99 or $19.99. The platinum price, $11.99 or $15.99 as well. Now, Linda said her niece used to call Wagamamas Wiggle Mamas, and that's stuck. I like that. Yeah, let us know if you've got any funny sayings, funny things that you do. Lynn says, my mum was laughing at me because I kept telling Lily that the arm of the trimmer swings out from the bottom. I don't know why she can't hear me when I'm shouting at the television. We all do that, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got some images of the craft along that we did earlier on. So this one's from Linda. Oh, look at that. I like the colours in that.
Beautiful. Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And then with the license, so that's lovely.
Isn't that precious?
Oh, I really
Absolutely
like that.
love that. Love the colours. Doesn't it work nicely with the blue?
It does, works really well. Like that a lot. Very nice. Let's see in the back.
Oh, nice.
Is that the new...
Yeah, floral elegance, definitely. Yeah,
fantastic.
Worth a treat, doesn't it?
That's gorgeous. Next one we've got is Sue's.
Oh, that's
lovely.
pretty.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the top. We've got almost like those scalloped
Rick-rack.
edges on the top.
Yeah.
Like rick-rack, yeah.
I love that.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
Very
love,
lovely.
Love the tea light inside as well.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
that's really good. The next one we've got is Terry's.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty with the flowers on the side. Look at that.
That's one of our older dyes, I think, isn't it? It's like our half credit card sort of dyes, but that works a treat, and I love the colours. You know, I love my pink.
Oh,
that is beautiful.
That's lovely. Oh,
amazing.
Oh, it's so nice to see all the
Isn't
people's
it?
makes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely love those. Those are incredible. Thank you, guys.
Lovely. Yeah, thank you very much for sending those. They are absolutely gorgeous. Really like those. What the other? We've got a couple of questions here, and we've got a challenge coming up as well. So you can have a think about the challenge in the break. So the challenge has come from Jodie. She's accumulated 9 boxes over several orders with Crafter's Companion, and wants to know if anyone's had any more boxes delivered this week. Lily doesn't have her stuff in boxes. She just has.
It comes by the lorry full. It comes in pallets, mine. They don't put it in boxes. What comes in pallets?
And let us know. Have a think about that. And have I read it wrong? I haven't got that one. No, I haven't got that one. Okay. It's 9 boxes of my special papers, is what we have. I think that Jodie's got. Has anyone got more? Christine, that's probably your cue to message in. We're going to go for a quick break, give you the opportunity to check out your baskets, and we will see you in a couple of moments.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get social with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, on your TV or tablet, you can get so close to the action, it's like you're in the studio with us. You can ask questions about products or crafty techniques. Get hints and tips from our expert demonstrators. Plus, share pictures of your crafty makes with our amazing community. Crafters TV, getting you closer to the crafty action. If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Terry Anderson said, well, she didn't stump Lily at all. No, Lily has an encyclopedic knowledge, as we know, of all crafty goodies. Christy Mahoney says, I didn't have the boxes of my special papers because I've got between 10 and 20 pads of each one already. Okay, so you wouldn't need them. There were some special ones in there, weren't there, that had never been seen before?
There was.
Yeah, I do feel a bit bad that I didn't get those for my mum. Sorry, Mum, another thing I didn't get for my mum. And Rose says, thank you, Lily. I really love that card. I had the Daisy collection arrive this morning and I ordered the 12 by 12 paper pad to complement it this afternoon.
Gotta be done.
Jediah says, I got the box of special papers because it was a steal price. I didn't need to buy. One day I will know directly how many paper pads I own. And talking about funny things that people say, Karen says, my eldest son couldn't say radiator either, Lily. He used to call it a radiator. That's exactly what my daughter called her, a radiator. And Terry says, my daughter's called groundhogs, ground chucks, a combination of groundhog and a woodchuck. It's not a word we use, it's an American animal, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We don't have them here, do we?
No. What was the film? Groundhog Day.
There you go. Clues in the title.
Oh dear me. What was it called? Groundhog Day. That was a good show. What was that show called again? Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. There you go.
Trying to be
really
funny.
is like Groundhog Day, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Right, we're going to go back to doing some work now rather than chatting. We're not going back to the fuchsia. No, we're not. We're looking at vintage rose here. This is the collection that I didn't quite get in the Play the Crafts Right, isn't it? I got rose, but not vintage rose. Yeah. Beautiful collection here. This first is an elegant lace border die. Really very, very pretty die that you've got here. This one is, I have to say, one of my favourites. This is the trellis that you've got here, and it's just absolutely glorious. Again, you've got two dies here. You've got a die to cut in, all that intricate fretwork, and you've also got that outer die to cut out. Then we have an embossing folders. This one is your Baroque frame. We then have your exquisite lace die set here. Very, very pretty. Design that you've got here. But we've also got other things. We've got some card blanks and envelopes, all in those beautiful colours. So you've got that really dark red, you've got a pale pink, and you've also got a dusky green. You've also got some linen cardstock, all in these colours, and there's quite a lot of colours in this collection, not the normal four that we might do. So you've got lots of different colours that are going to work here. And then finally, we've got our multi-sheet topper pad here. So these are various designs here. So some quite large that are going to work with your designs. So you've got some nice little sort of sentiments down here as well. But we're going to work in all of those colours and all of those designs with that beautiful collection. And some of these toppers down here are die cut too. So this whole collection is £65 or $75. The platinum price is £52 or $60. Vintage Rose is a really beautiful collection, isn't it, Lily?
It certainly is. It is absolutely gorgeous. You get tons included as part of this collection as well. And it's an ideal one if you are new to crafting because we've got things like your card bases included. You've got those pre-cut elements as well. And that topper pad is one that you'll be using time and time again. But we're going to go back to basics a little bit for this particular demo. We're not actually going to use any dies at all. So we're going to focus on the papers and we're also going to focus on those pre-cut elements as well. So a very simple one to get crafting straight out of the gate if you are new to crafting. So let's start off with some of our pattern papers. Now this is from the 12 by 12 pad, and all we're going to do is going to mat and layer onto some of that beautiful, it's a lovely red. I'm trying to think what shade of red I'd call that. Oh, scarlet maybe? Probably go for scarlet red. For that particular colour tone. Beautiful linen texture on there as well. I always think it gives your creations a really quite expensive and luxurious look and feel by having that beautiful linen texture onto your cardstock. So let's pop some of our glue onto the back of there, and that's just going to layer onto our red. So as always, I chose that pattern paper first, and then I literally just picked out that lovely red colour tone from the centre. And that is why I went with that lovely red matten layer. Then that's just going to go onto our card base. So our card base is a 5 inches by 7 inches in size, and they are part of that collection. You also get all those matching envelopes as well. So you've got the envelopes for all of those card bases to fit into, and I love the fact that they're not white envelopes, because quite often you'll buy coloured card bases, but then they'll still include the white envelopes, which is sort of ruins the effect a little bit, I always think. So I love the fact that you've got the coordinating coloured card bases with their envelopes as well. And that's our card base all laid up and good to go. Once again, using our trick of just popping that under our Gemini plates to flatten it while it dries. And this is where we bring in some of our lovely pre-cut elements. So what I've done is I've taken that beautiful border. I've also taken that smaller frame and the larger frame, but what I've done with the larger frame is I've actually just chopped it in half, so we've got a half a frame design there. Love the fact that these are white, so it means that you can add colour. Of course, you can leave them white if you so choose, but if you're wanting to add colour, you've got so many options with them being that matte white cardstock. So here we're going to use some of our water reactive inks, and the one that we're going in with for this particular card is our green topaz. But if you want to, you could be adding other finishes on here. It could be your gilding waxes, it could be your glitters, you could be adding some of your sprays on there as well. Even using this as a mask as well as actually using the design like we are doing here. How about using these like you would a mask or a stencil and spritzing or inking through, so then you could get a little bit of a 2-for-1, which would be super cool. But lots of options with these, even just keeping them white, they're still going to look equally gorgeous because you've got all that intricate detail within these. So adding ink to that one, and we're just going to do the same treatment on all 3 of our pre-cut elements so that everything's going to be tying and mashing together beautifully, just keeping everything tying together with exactly the same little bit of inking onto all of these pieces. Here I'm using my square blending tool. I know we call it square even though it's technically rectangular, but you could be going in with your finger daubers if you find that a little bit easier, or your other shapes of blending tools, or your blending sponges. It's whatever you find easiest to work with. And then exactly the same for our final die cut piece, which is half of our frame. Of course, I did save the other half because you could be almost doing a little bit of a 2-for-1 if you like, and recreating this card twice, because of course you've got the ability to, when you're cutting this particular shape in half, it gives you the 2 usable halves that you can work into 2 separate cards. Working in circular motions with your blending tool is going to give you the smoothest lay down of colour onto your die cut, and it's going to make it have that lovely, almost like airbrushed look and feel. Seem to have caught that little bit there, but that should be absolutely fine once we stick that down into position using some of our glue. So I'm not going to worry about that too much at all, just laying down our colour onto there just like so. That should do for now for our inking. So let's bring back in our card base that was just drying underneath our mats, and let's start to layer this card together. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our die cut along that right hand side. I think that works quite nicely. Let's have our other one towards the left hand side. So let's go in with some of our dotty tape pen. As always, a protective piece of cardstock underneath just to catch where you've got the gaps in the die cut so that you don't get any of that sticky mess onto your glass mat. Just saves tidying up and cleaning up, which I'm definitely all for. I'm not one for tidying and cleaning up, I'd much rather be crafting. So what we're going to do is we're just going to line this up alongside the right hand side of our card base. I think something like that should just about do it, making sure it's flush and level with the top and the bottom. We've got it straight alongside that right hand side, and that's going to give us that lovely border onto there without the need for actually using any dies at all. Then what we're going to do is we're going to line up our frame on that left hand side. So again, same technique of using some of our dotty tape pen onto the back of there, just to catch all that beautiful detail. This is such a gorgeously detailed pre-cut element that we've got, but you can still get that gorgeous level of intricacy. Even if you've not got a die cutting machine yet, it makes it ideal for you beginner crafters at home who have not invested yet, and I always do say yet, because we know what it's like with crafting. We start with a small shoebox, maybe full of supplies, and next thing you know, you've got tons. But even if you're not on that die cutting journey just yet, you can still recreate something with lots of finesse, lots of detail and intricacy to it. You can see how beautifully that starts to layer up onto there. We've also got that smaller frame, and I'm just deciding exactly how I want to position that. I'm thinking I might have that layered up onto there, something like that. So let's pop some more of our tape onto the reverse there. You could be layering that up onto some of your pattern paper, maybe starting to give that a little bit of a matten layer by just cutting around that. But to keep it nice and quick and easy and simple, we're just going to glue that onto there using some of our dotty tape pen, just making sure that's nice and straight and level, just like so. You can see how we're starting to build up all those layers, all that decoration. We're then going to bring in some of the elements that we get included as part of that die cut topper pad. So here I've got almost like that faux washi tape, which is a lovely finishing touch to add to your pattern papers, just to give it almost like faux dimension, if you like, that faux texture onto there. And that extra layer does always make it look more finished and more professional, and that's just going to go onto that top section, something a little bit like that. We've got a sentiment that we're going to add into the middle of our frame. We've gone for I love you, so if you are thinking about those Valentine's Day makes, then this is going to be the ideal sort of sentiment to go for. And that's just going to nestle into the middle of our frame, just like so, and using the different sort of parts of that frame, the different detail, the symmetry within that die cut to help me line that up and make sure it's level and straight, which it's not. So let's just move it over ever so slightly. There we go, that's a little bit better. And then we've got a couple more of these lovely die cut embellishments that come part of that topper pad. We've got two which are exactly the same. I want to show you a little technique that we can do with these. So on one of them, we're going to create our own decoupage. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to start to snip into this design. So we're cutting away all of the leaves that we've got on the background, and we're just focusing on the flowers that we've got on the foreground. And all we need to do is just take our scissors and go all the way around. I'm actually going to snip the two flowers apart and layer them up separately, but you could keep them joined if you find that easier. I think it's just a little bit quicker to actually snip them apart. So that's one. Of course, you could be using that as a separate embellishment, but like I say here, we're actually going to create our own decoupage just to give this a little bit more interest, a little bit more depth and dimension. And it just shows something a little bit different you can do when you have your fabulous decoupage topper pads. Makes it nice and quick and easy, and the fact that you have got a few of each design means that you're able to do this with absolute ease. So just completing that cut, going all around the edges, and we've got our two extra little pieces there. Then we'll take our pokey tool, anything that's just going to allow you to add a little bit of shape into these cut pieces to make them look that little bit more realistic and give them that extra bit of dimension. It does make a massive difference by adding that shape into there. So just curving those petals around, give it that lovely beveled effect onto there. And then to make sure we're going to keep that shape, we're going to bring in a couple of our foam pads. So one onto the centre of that flower, and then another one is going to go exactly into the centre of our other flower, just like so. Let's peel our backing off, and that's just going to line up. Of course, with it being the same image, it's going to line up perfectly with that lower layer. And then we're going to do exactly the same with our other one. So just making sure I've got that the right way around, just in case of spinning it around. There we go. And that's going to layer onto there perfectly, just like that.
Very effective.
Doesn't it make a big difference just by having one extra layer on there with a little bit of foam? Gives it that extra bit of dimension and makes it look that little bit more special, I always think. It's going to have that onto there, I think something like that. So let's bring in a few more foam pads to lift this proud from our card base. So a couple on either end, and then just another one in the middle like that. And then of course peeling the backing off of those foam pads, and let's pop that. Let's decide. I think let's go that way around. I think that works for me, but either orientation will work a treat. And then finally, for that little bit of balance, we've got all that detail on that bottom section there. We want to have some detail there that's going to sort of draw your eye along that diagonal. So we've taken another of those lovely die cut embellishments from our 8x8 inch topper pad, that gorgeous butterfly. It's definitely going to be one of those icons that you'll be using time and time again on lots of your projects. And we're going to have that flying proud on that top corner, something a little bit like that, just to finish it off. What a super quick, easy and simple card to create. No dies inside there, no stamps or anything like that. You are literally just using your papers, using your pre-cut elements to create something that still looks really quite pretty.
Fantastic, that is absolutely gorgeous. Now I do have to admit my error because I was showing you the dies, but actually you are getting the pre-cuts in here, but you can see what they're going to look like. So they're pre-cut elements all in white for this border, and also this one here, which is your exquisite lace, but you won't be getting the die, you'll be getting pre-cut white versions of this. But you will of course be getting the embossing folder. You will be getting this set of dies, so you've got a die to cut the outside and one to cut inside. You're going to be getting those card blanks and the matching envelopes in those colours here, so you've got the pink and you've got the green as well as that sort of dark red. You've got that topper pad, and then finally you've got that beautiful collection of A4 linen cardstock, £65 or $75. The platinum price is £52 or $60 as well. Linda messaged in and said her husband once asked, what's those nuts called on the top of a walnut whip?
Oh, I do wonder. Oh, I used to love a walnut whip. That's something I miss. If anyone can bring out a vegan walnut whip, let me know.
Yeah, well, maybe someone will do.
Maybe they will.
It won't be too long to wait. I'm sure at some point everything will be vegan. You'll have your
so.
pick of the crop. Do message in if you've got any questions. And one of the questions we did have earlier on, I'm just going to scroll through it. Oh, no. Oh.
I've just thought as well, now we're talking about walnut whips. Can you get whips with other nuts on top, or is it only a walnut?
I've only seen walnut whips.
Me too.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Interesting.
Maybe Walnut said, well, that's it. We're never going to, you can only use us. Now, Laurie says, how do you hollow out the cardstock with your paper trimmer?
Oh, all you need to do is, let's take the paper trimmer, because what you need to do with your trimmers are a little bit different in contrast to your guillotines. To actually get that cutting, you need to exert pressure onto that blade. So if we take our scratchy piece of cardstock here, if I just go up and down, it's not going to cut. So what you need to do, you can see just like so, going up and down like that is not going to cut, okay? So what you want to do is you want to pop your blade wherever you want to start cutting from. So say it's there, then I'm going to press down. Maybe I want to stop cutting there, so I'm stopping, pressing down, and I'm just sort of removing my blade by just sliding it down. Rather than pressing down, I'm just sliding it down.
Okay.
And that's going to give you that partial cut line. So all you want to do is you want to get your blade to where you need it to be, then exert your pressure, and then whenever you want to stop, sort of hold that up a little bit, and then you can just drag that to the end while you're still holding it up, and it's going to give you those partial cut lines. Super easy to do with a trimmer, and it's a great technique if you did get that template library. It's a great technique for some of those templates as well.
Absolutely, brilliant. Now, and if you didn't manage to get the template library, we do have another thing that will help you create some beautiful cards. It's particularly good for a beginner. Now, this is our layout collection, and you've got loads and loads in here. The first thing I'm going to show you is, I'm going to go through the stamps first of all. You get stamps. Now, these have all been coloured, so these are the stamps you're going to be getting, but we've coloured them for you so you can see what you're going to be getting. Beautiful designs that you've got here, which are going to be absolutely key for you working your way through your layout collection. You're also going to be getting some incredible sets of dies. Now, there's loads and loads of dies here. These are all nesting dies. They are absolutely key for you getting started. Everyone needs nesting dies. We talked about this earlier. We've got ovals, we've got circles, we've got these ones here, which are a different kind of, almost like an oval kind of shape, like a Art Nouveau mirror, this one. These ones here with these beautiful frames. You've also got, there's so many of them here. You've got these large circular ones. I can't pick them up. We're talking about new nails. You can't pick things up with new nails. These circular ones, so you've got that scalloped edge as well as a straight edge on them. We've got some square ones here which work the same sort of way. Reminds me of ravioli, this one. Makes me feel quite hungry. This one here, a little bit smaller, more like a postage stamp. Then you've got things like these tags, lots of different sizes so they can nest together. You've got these which will work as like a pennant or a banner. Then you've got dies like this, little embellishments, so hearts, flowers, stars, all those kinds of key things. And then this one here with different edges. So you can have that lovely kind of scalloped edge here, one that almost looks like the tops of grass as well. You've also got things like ribbons, three different colours of ribbons in 3 different sizes. You've got gems. Then you've got embossing folders, this one here with that lovely bunch of flowers. This is your blooming flowers. This one here with those beautiful, I'll put them around the right way so you can actually see, these beautiful kind of peonies. These are your fabulous florals that you've got here. Then you've got butterflies, a whole kaleidoscope of butterflies here. And you've got some sentiments. Now, what are you going to do with all of these? Included in the layout collection, you're going to be getting these recipe cards which show you how to put everything together. And it also comes with paper and card. So this is a really key item to have. If you are just getting started, this is absolutely ideal. But let's be honest, with just all of those dies, all of those nesting dies that you're going to be getting in there, all those different shapes that you're going to be able to cut out, these are going to be things that you're going to be on your desk all the time, every single time that you craft. There's a wealth of information in here. Now the price for this is £79.99 or $99.99, and platinum is $63.99 or $79.99. And there's a lot in here, isn't there, Lily? You get a binder as well, lots and lots of things to play with.
Absolutely. It's perfect if you are new to crafting and you want to sort of kickstart that creativity. You want a lot of crafty goodies, but for an amazing price. This is going to be incredible. And that's before we even talk about that amazing sort of layout concept. So even if you're just looking at it in terms of the hardware, the craft stash that you're getting, £79.99 is an incredible price. But then bringing the education, bringing all those different concepts, all the different layout sketches that we're bringing as part of that recipe booklet, then that £79.99 looks even better value for money. If you're ever struggling with your creativity and you're not quite sure how to position your elements on your cards, you're sort of looking, you've got all your die cut pieces maybe, or all your different layers, but you're not quite sure how to layer those up, how to position those on your project, then we have got a solution for you with all those different sketches to have 30 different layouts that you can be using on your cards, you can be using them on your home decor pieces, on your box making, on your scrapbooking as well. It's absolutely incredible to get all of that and in the amazing binder and with that presentation box. What an amazing gift to a new crafter. Amazing, amazing product. So passionate about this one. I'm very excited. I've actually got the craft along coming up on Friday with this. So that'll be what I'll be prepping tomorrow. But what an amazing concept to get all of those goodies, all of that education as well for an incredible price, and you're saving over £100 or over $130. Absolutely incredible. Better than half price saving. Grab it while you can.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes when you're making a card or doing some kind of work and you look at it and you think, oh, there's something missing, I can't quite work out what it is. This is really going to help you, isn't it? Because it shows you how you can lay out and put everything together. And it's sort of, then once you sort of see that, you can sort of think, oh, actually, I'm missing something on the top left-hand corner. That's why there's a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, so often I'm talking about balance when it comes to our cards. I'm talking about have that on that corner to balance that corner. If you're sort of thinking it doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me, I'm not quite sure, I don't quite grasp that concept, perhaps you're new to crafting, then don't worry, because all those recipe cards have already been designed. Just literally follow that layout. You don't have to worry about balance. You don't have to worry about, do I need to put a bit more on the left? Do I need to put an extra embellishment on that right-hand side? All of the embellishment positioning, all of your top positioning, all your layers are all marked on those templates. So literally all you need to do is follow that sketch. Maybe you're using the items within the kit, so all your papers, all of your dies, or maybe using other items you've already got in your crafty stash. Those layouts are absolutely amazing and great if you're having a little bit of a day where your crafty mojo is down a little bit. That's certainly going to kickstart your creativity.
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. And I think for sometimes people are quite experienced crafters, but just feel a little bit nervous about when they're actually making things. And I think this will give you that helping hand throughout. And like you say, for a great price as well, great one to have. Mum, I might try and get you one of these because we've still got some in stock and I've missed out on all the other things and I feel really bad. I feel really bad that my mum has missed out on the template library and the special papers. Oh, I'm not very good, am I? Oh, bad mum. Vanessa says, I love my layout collection. This is worth the purchase just for the dies that come in the pack. I completely agree with you. It makes it a real key item. You'll use those dies again and again. They won't be off your desk for very long, I don't think at all. All right, for anyone that's just joining us, we have a masterclass today and it's all about nature's garden. We've had some fantastic demos and we've still got more to come, haven't we, Lily? More demos?
Yeah, absolutely. We're here for another hour.
You look completely confused then.
Do you know what? I was a total world of my own. I was literally thinking about that Daisies paper pad. I was thinking, do I need another one? Literally, my mind is always on paper pads, isn't it? But yes, my mind is now here. We're in the Nature's Garden for yet another hour. Hopefully a couple more demos, more amazing products, and hopefully lots of interesting questions from you guys at home. Get them in last hour. Crazy questions, random questions, crafting questions. We're here. We're here for it.
I've got
Why
one
not?
for you, which is about how to use vellum. How can we use vellum more? That's not my question. I'm just looking. That is from Stephanie. Because she was saying about you using vellum earlier on. I need more ideas to use vellum, when, how, and where to use it.
That's funny because I'm really passionate about vellum, and I've just realised thinking about it, I will have used vellum on each and every single show today. So. I know, I love a bit of vellum, whether it's printed, whether it's plain, it's super versatile. So on this afternoon's craft along, we actually used vellum so that we could have that translucent element if we were to pop a battery operated tea light in the centre. So anytime you're creating a box and you want to have that battery operated tea light in the middle, you want some of that light to shine through, but you don't want it to shine through fully. You want almost like a diffused glow, then vellum is going to be absolutely ideal for that use. But use it however you'd use your pattern papers on your cards. So we did a similar demonstration this morning as to the same technique that we've done here. And all we've done is we've taken our vellum. So our base layer is from the pattern paper pad, but this next layer up here is our vellum. So if you want a slightly more soft, more translucent, almost like dreamy-like feel, bring your vellum in, and I tend to add a piece of white cardstock behind just so you can see that colour a little bit better. And use it in your matting and layering. We've seen how easy it is to adhere because of the fact that we can be using our dotty tape pen to adhere it, or red liner tape, something like that. But for your layers for your cards, it works an absolute treat. As well, ripping and tearing vellum looks amazing if you want a softer look. So just take your ruler and just tear against that ruler onto your vellum, and it will give you a really lovely organic feel. But anytime you want a mat and layer with a little point of difference, go for your vellum. And as well, I love creating flowers from vellum. So you can die cut your vellum, create your 3D flowers like you would your paper flowers, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
With the dies, we've got those flower dies in the new collection, which is Floral Elegance. I nearly got there. Would that work with vellum?
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so you can create your quilled flowers with your vellum as well. Just die cut from your vellum. It's just something you need to bear in mind is how you're going to glue it. So you don't want a lot of moisture applied to your vellum. So you do have to take care with your wet glues. But absolutely, your quilled rolled flowers would work a treat as well.
Okay, fantastic. We have a question from the gallery. A would you rather question. So
Okay.
would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear? Would you
Oh my
rather sing
goodness.
or dance to every single song you hear?
I'll probably say sing, because I think I'm going to get a bit tired if I have to dance along to every single song. And I feel like as well it's more disruptive. So for you just going about your daily life, doing a bit of crafting, and you have to sing along, no hardship. But if I have to get up and dance every time music starts, you know, I'll be doing a bit of crafting, oh, music, all right, back to dancing, we can start. Whereas it, you know, just sing along as you're crafting, as I quite often do. We say singing, we mean caterwauling, but that is a different story. So my vote there is sing.
Oh, mine's dancing.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I dance to all the little music in between all the shows.
That is true,
all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And I think what's less obtrusive when you go out to the supermarket? Someone that's just starts singing or someone who starts dancing. I mean, most people look at me in a funny way in the supermarket anyway. It's possibly because I'm already dancing, yes.
They do me, but then I'm a bit like supermarket sweeping the supermarket. I don't like doing my food shop. So I'm there with my trolley practically running around. Get me out of here. Get some food in the trolley. Get me out. So yeah, I have enough funny looks as it is already. So if I sing, I'll be going so fast people probably won't hear. Maybe.
Let us know what you think. Would you rather sing to every song you hear, or would you rather dance to every song you hear? What about the gallery? Nicola and Jamie. Lovely Boy Jamie is his new name. Lovely Boy Jamie. That's what I call you now. Nicola says dance. You are the lord of the dance. Oh. And dancing is definitely most popular.
I'm in the minority then.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll play some music later. You can watch
dear.
me dance and listen to Lilly sing.
If you want people to be turning off, then that is the way to do it, because my caterwauling doesn't make for nice hearing, shall we say.
You say that, but I bet Lilly won like a, no.
Do 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 There we go. Beautiful.
If that doesn't make it in Ben's roundup, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Linda says she'll sing along with anything.
Oh, there we go.
Interesting. Yeah, not a dancer. Not a dancer.
No.
I mean, I'm not a dancer. At all. Yeah, I mean, let's just play. Actually, I always said one of the really good games would be that we play the music for the shows, and then people dance to it, and you don't know, and you've got to guess what song people are dancing to.
Ooh, that'd be quite
I
interesting.
think that'd be quite interesting, yeah, because my dancing is not on the beat. So I'd be great because nobody would be able to work out what song is in my head. Let us know what you think. Laurie says, I saw Sheena turning vellum over and rolling a ball over with leaves and other things to create dimensions.
Yeah, you can do that. The same sort of techniques that you'd use when you are actually creating your paper flowers. You can do those exact same methods and techniques with your vellum if you want to shape it. Because I always tend to use my pokey tool. You'll see me often when I'm doing my shaping, I'll shape around my pokey tool. But if you find it easier to use your foam shaping mat and your ball tools, absolutely. Do it with vellum, do it with your cardstock, do it with your paper. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Very much so. Now, Jodie said, Becky, I love the layout collection because I can find a lot of the basics in one organised place. Sometimes you just don't want to hump things. That's a really good comment to make, actually. And Sarah says, embossing vellum looks really great. I tried that the other day and I was amazed how good it looked.
Absolutely. The only thing you need to bear in mind, obviously, with it being thinner, you might need to take out a shim, but just give it a go, see how you get on. But it does look amazing embossed, absolutely. It gives you that look and feel almost like you're doing parchment craft, which is an amazing craft. I know there's so many talented parch crafters out there, but if you've not got time to do your parchment craft, maybe you've not got the skill or the dexterity, then you can get that similar sort of effect by using your embossing folders.
Fantastic. Do you know, I bought all that parchment craft stuff and I've never used it.
I've got a load of that at home
books,
somewhere.
the whole lot.
Yeah. Just not enough hours in the day, quite frankly.
No,
not
there's
enough
not.
hours.
No, there's not. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And Rosalind said, and when I'm in my car alone, I'll sing. Otherwise, I'd be dancing to every song I hear. Interesting to know. All right, we've got some other items. This is the last chance for some of these items here. This is the Be Beautiful collection stamp and die set. This is the Bee Blooms. You've got 9 stamps, blooms, bee blooms, 9 stamps and 6 dies. The price is just £3.89 or $5.39. Platinum is £3.11 or $4.31, and it's a 70% saving. Wow, that is a good price. So these are all 70% savings here. This next one, this collection I missed out on. I can't even say. Chinoiserie. I need that. Can someone just order me that, please?
95p, come on now.
My mum will love this, actually. £1.19, I'll give it to my mum. $2.38. Platinum price is 95 pence or $1.90. Mum, order that one. And the next one is in the same collection, but it's a beautiful stamp set. We've got those lovely parrots with the cherry blossom there. £2.39 or $2.98. You've got more than a 70% saving. Platinum price, £1.91 or $2.38. Mum, get that one as well. Actually, I've already got that one. This is one of the farmhouse. This is
flashbacks, Becky, flashbacks.
I know. I'm never going to forget this, am I? This is the one I didn't get. This is the Nature's Garden Farmhouse Clear Acrylic Stamp. You've got loads of different stamps in there. Price is crazy, £1.49, $2.98. I mean, these are really our last chance. £1.19 is your platinum price or $2.38. Really good value. And next one is Lilly Collection. These are, you used these earlier on, didn't you?
I certainly did, on that first demo.
Yeah. With love and congratulations, die sets. This is £1.49, $2.98. Platinum is £1.19 or $2.38. The next item we've got is a sunflower die. This is beautiful, a huge die actually, loads and loads of great card die you've got here. Price is £5.09 or $5.99. Platinum is £4.07 or $4.79. Next one, I really like this one. This is the Wildflower die and stencil set. I really like this one. I think this is lovely. That is £5.09 or $5.99. Platinum is £4.07 or $4.79. Next item is pre-cut trellis here that you've got. So pre-cut in white. So you've got 12 of these in this bundle. £3.89 or $4.48. Platinum price is £3.11 and $3.58. Great if you have not managed to get yourself a die cutting machine, but you can still have that die cut element. Next item we've got is your vintage rose stamp. This is the last one. This is the one that we use a lot, actually, this rose stamp and die set. You see it in a lot of Craig's demos, actually, this one. £3.89 or $3.89. Platinum price is £3.11 or $3.11. Whew, there's great deals. They are the last chance to get hold of all of those things. Mum, if you're watching, we need those two that I just pointed out. You'll have to order them yourself because I'm obviously not very good at it, getting any of the things you actually want. Yeah, but actually, you know, Mum, you know, just get them for that kind of price. I mean, they're a no-brainer. Deborah says, when I'm doing yard work, I always have my music on and I'll stop and dance and then laugh to myself. Sue said, you would sure be in shape if you danced along to all the songs. You absolutely would, wouldn't you? Anne says, sing, it can be done when you're doing other things, plus I sing better than I dance. Laurie says, how about whistling? I can't whistle.
No, neither can I.
It doesn't work. Yeah. We were talking about that yesterday. You can get sweets that look like whistles, like they had in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But you're supposed to get them when I was a child from the chemist. Great place to get sweets from. The other message here is Alison. She said, can't sing at all, but I'm a great chair dancer, dancing in my seat. Yeah, that would be quite good. Yeah, chair dancing when you're in the... Actually, I did stop myself from dancing when I was on the tube the other day. But when you dance on the tube, then people move away from you, so you get a little bit of space. So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. Right, we're going to go back to the delightful Daisies here. This is the 12 by 12 paper pad. Loads of people loving this. 36 pages you've got in here, and they are absolutely beautiful. Really lovely collection here. I will grab them so you can have another flick through. But like, I'm going to take that one out. See, always a professional, me. You've got double printed, so you've got different patterns on the A side and B side. You'll hear us refer to that. So some of these have got like a wood grain in them, but the colours are just glorious. You've got beautiful cornflower blues, vivid greens, and those yellows. Absolutely beautiful collection. It is joyful, it is summerful, spring-like. It is really, really pretty. As always, the 12 by 12 paper pads are really good quality, 180 GSM. The price for this is £14.99 or $19.99. The platinum price is just £11.99 or $15.99. I've got this at home, so Mum, if you're watching, you don't need to buy this. I've already got it. Just telling her that. She might want her own. She won't. She might have turned me off. She might have thought, oh, useless daughter. She's not bought any of that stuff. She would not be not very happy. Oh, we've got another would you rather. Would you rather swim in a pool of Nutella or a pool of maple syrup? It's got to be maple syrup.
I'm exempt from this one on medical grounds. No, I can't swim in Nutella. It's not vegan. I can have. So does that mean I have to choose maple syrup?
Sorry. Does that mean you're not vegan if you swim in something that's not vegan?
Well,
if it
I'd have to breathe.
Huh?
I'd have to breathe, so likely I'd end up eating some of the Nutella.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to breathe in Nutella, whether they're vegan or not. You must be able to get vegan chocolate spread.
Vegan chocolate spread. So okay. can that be my choice?
Yeah, vegan.
Oh, easy. Vegan chocolate spread. I'd eat my way out.
How can you swim in it? You'll just be stuck.
Well, that's what your mouth's for. Yeah, eat your way out. Just like that. Just like that.
I think I'd definitely be going for the maple syrup.
No! You could be in a swimming pool full of chocolate and you wouldn't. There's something wrong here.
I am now I'm thinking about it, I'm getting a bit worried about wasps.
Oh gosh, yeah. Can you imagine trying to wash that off afterwards?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no, neither's good. With the maple
it
syrup.
would be when I'm eating my way out. Just like that, chomping my way out. Yeah, be fine.
If it's a hot day and everything's liquid, well, I'd be a bit worried that the maple syrup might get too hot.
I think as well, how good for your skin must it be being in chocolate spread? You think the cocoa butter in there would be doing your skin the world of good.
That's very true. Yeah.
Double whammy, 2 for 1 right there. 100% chocolate spread. I'll be eating my way out, be exfoliating at the same time. It'll be wonderful.
Exfoliate. I tell you what, Lily, if you're vegan and you think it's okay to eat the chocolate spread that's been exfoliating your skin, you've got something wrong with you.
Oh, well. I'll eat the other bits, not the bits that's been exfoliating my skin. It's fine.
Oh, I like these questions. Let us know what you would do. I think you can swim better in maple syrup.
Yes, you should be able to, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not planning on swimming, as we very well know.
You're just gonna.
Just eating me way out.
Can you swim?
Yeah, I can swim.
You can swim.
Not in Nutella or maple syrup, but I can swim in water.
I don't know how you'd get into the pool of chocolate spread because you would sit on the surface.
Yeah.
It'd take quite a long time for you to slowly.
So now I've got visions of me sort of on a lilo in this chocolate spread, just on my back, just sunning myself, relaxing, just getting a spoon and just, instead of having a canoe, I'd just have a spoon. Just be there eating on my lilo, just float along. This sounds wonderful. This was no choice at all. This is brilliant. And if anyone can set this up for me, you know, get it sorted maybe out in the car park, absolutely, I'll be there.
I can so picture you. Yeah, I can't do that with the maple syrup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an easy choice.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm with Lily on that. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you think of Charlie and Chocolate Factory and the river, I mean, that's going to have to be more liquid, isn't it? It's going to flow.
But if we think it's chocolate spread, so it's a lot thicker.
It is very
It's not
thick.
like melted chocolate, it's quite thick. So that's why I'm going to be on my lilo, floating along, happy as a pig in muck, or a lily in chocolate.
Or a lily in chocolate. Yeah, delightful Daisies. Lily, have you got another demo for us?
I certainly do. Just mentally, I'm currently on that lilo on my chocolate spread, but head back in the game. Just put those thoughts to one side, Lily. Let's get us head back in the game and let's create a pretty card. Should we do that?
Yes, do that.
Let's give it a go. Come on now. Right. Focus, Lily. Let's get some of the lovely pattern papers in on the action. So, using once again that amazing, delightful Daisies 12 by 12 inch paper pad. We've cut our panel down to size, and this time we are using that front side where you've got all that lovely detail, all those gorgeous layers, and we've taken some of our, I'm trying to think, I believe this was from our Colours of Summer 12 by 12 inch linen cardstock. Picking out that lovely detail that we've got with the yellow centres of our daisies gives us that lovely pop of colour around the edge. Our card base, we've used some of our linen card to create that ourselves. It's just under 6 inches by 6 1/4, so slightly rectangular for our card base. Love the fact that we're using our linen card to give that really expensive look and feel to our project. And we're just going to layer our beautiful pattern paper onto our card base just like so. So that's going to go onto the centre there like that. Then we're going to leave that to one side for just a moment to dry, and this is where we're going to bring in some of the dies that are part of this collection. So here let's work with the daisy chain, a beautiful edgeable style die. And what we mean by an edgeable die is one side of the die is going to stay within your cardstock. So you can see here, that right hand side is going to cut into our card, but that left hand side there has got that outer cut line, so that's going to cut our detail out of the cardstock. So taking a piece of our white linen card, the same card that we used for our card base, and we're going to line that up so we've got an even space in there between the right hand side and that sort of top border at the top and the bottom of our die like so. The waist is going to be that right hand side, that's the side that cuts out of our cardstock. So as always, we're aiming to tape onto the waist, and then that's just going to be run through our die cutting machine, nice and easy to do. And once again, you are sort of limited by the size of your cardstock, but as long as your cardstock is small enough for that mouth of the machine, you can be using these dies with your smaller machines like your MIDI and your MIDI. So great if you are crafting in a smaller space or if you only have the smaller machines at the moment. So all we need to do now is just ease that die cut out of the die. And you can see, isn't that gorgeous? We've got all of that die cut detail onto our die just like so. Popping out all those pieces so that you've got all of the beautiful detail within there. But we want to make that pop a little bit more before we actually place it onto our card base. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to bring in some more of that lovely yellow cardstock that we used for our mats and layers. And that's going to be cut to exactly the same height as our matting layer that we've got there. And our border there is cut to exactly the same height as well. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our dotty tape pen and our normal one as well. Actually, we'll have some of the normal solid tape pen onto that right-hand side there where we've got the solid section. Oh, I've finished another tape pen. I might have finished another.
Not another one.
Oh, a couple on there. Let's just pop our Collal all-purpose on that side when we've got the solid design, and then on the other side where we've got our detail, let's go in with our dotty tape pen, just catching that onto that beautiful intricate detail. And then we're going to line that up so we've got a slight border on that left-hand side. We're not worrying too much about the right-hand side just because we are going to fussy cut that out in a moment. So let's burnish that into position to make sure that glue has caught onto our cardstock. Then all we're going to do is we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're just going to cut around the outer border. So leaving maybe a couple of millimetres, I would say, of our border there. Just to have the same sort of size of border on that left-hand side as that we've got on the right-hand side. It's going to tie it all together and make it flow nicely. So just going around, moving your cardstock rather than your scissors is going to give you the neatest, smoothest cut onto your fussy cutting, and just going around, feeding that cardstock through your scissors, having your scissors at a slight angle so they're tilted ever so slightly. It's going to give you that smoother cut as well and give you that really professional finish. So let's just go all the way around the outside, just giving ourselves that extra border, and it's almost like we've got an extra die within the set, but it's nice and easy to cut that by hand if you stick that design down first. You can see there, that really brings it to life that little bit more. Now what I've got is I've got a piece of that lovely seam binding ribbon that is also part of our collection, our Delightful Daisies collection. And we're going to add this alongside this piece as well for that extra little bit of texture, that extra bit of added interest. So just some tape is going to go onto the reverse at the top and the bottom. So I like to line up that top section first, get it so it's nice and central. Wrap the edge around the back. It's going to give you that neater finish by having that secured on the back rather than having the raw edges on the front. And then exactly the same on that bottom section there, just lining that up so we've got that nice and level onto our card panel, just like so. Might add a tiny little bit of tape into the centre of there just to catch that in the middle. So just a little bit of tape onto the middle to secure that into position. And then all we're going to do with that is we're going to place it onto our card base. I think we're going to go for, totally up to you, it doesn't really matter, I don't think which way around you have that. I think we'll go for that way around though. You can have this on the portrait or the landscape orientation. Either works an absolute treat with this particular design, making it super versatile for lots of different sorts of sizes and styles of projects, which we absolutely love. Running out of foam tape here, which is quite alarming. As we know, I do get through quite a lot of our foam tape.
You did say that at the start of the day, didn't you?
Absolutely. It was one of those, how many of these rolls can I get through in a day? An awful lot is the answer to that one. We don't like to put quantities on things like that, do we? It's like the number of paper pads we have. We don't quantify that. We just say a lot, and that will do. I would dread to count how many paper pads I have. Honestly, I would absolutely dread to count. I don't even count how many of the storage bags I have at this point because it is quite a few, but hey ho, you can see how gorgeous these papers are here, so we've got to have plenty of these in our crafty stash, that is for certain. So let's place this onto our card base, lining up that beautiful detailed edge alongside that left hand side, just something a little bit like that, and that's going to go onto our card base just like so. But of course we do need a little bit of a focal point to this particular card, so we'll leave that to one side for a minute while we focus onto our focal point. So all we've done ahead of time is we've die cut a circle of multi-purpose card, and then we're just going to run this through our die cutting machine using this absolutely beautiful Daisy Meadow 3D embossing folder. So we're going to make sure we've got the embossed design there, so it's going to push up into our cardstock, and then we're just going to place our circle that we've die cut into the middle there, and that's going to run through our Gemini die cutting machine. And with it being a 3D embossing folder, you just need your cutting plate, your base plate on the bottom, then you need your magnetic shim and your plastic shim, and that is all you need. I find it easier and better and most effective to actually have the hinge of that embossing folder on the side rather than at the top or the bottom. I just find it gives me a better result with my embossing, but of course that is personal preference. I know some of the rest of the team do it in a sort of the opposite way around, so do just experiment and find whatever works best for you. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to bring in some of our inks. So let's start off with our Spar Blue. So of course you could be leaving this white, it still looks absolutely gorgeous. But if you want to add a little bit of colour, let's go in with one of our water reactive inks. Now you could be colouring this from scratch using some of your alcohol pens, but if you're sort of daunted by that white space and you want to have almost like a little bit of a head start, then let's start off by inking first, and then we're just going to add those final finishing touches, those final details onto the centre of the flowers, and it's a lot quicker, a lot easier. And if you're new to colouring, perhaps not quite so confident with using your pens, this technique's still going to give you a fabulous result, but a little bit easier. So that ink is going to go onto there, just like that, and then that starts to bring our beautiful embossed design to life even more. But then at this point, let's bring in one of our pens. So we're going to go in with our Tri-Blend brush pen in our gold yellow blend. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to add the detail back into the centre of the flowers. So let's start off in the very middle with that beautiful sort of golden yellow sort of colour, that lightest colour tone in the middle. Let's go around the edge with that mid-tone, stippling a little bit, so just adding those little dots in for that extra bit of texture. And then finally we just go in with our darkest colour tone all around the edge of the centre of that beautiful daisy to sort of bring that to life and give you that extra little bit of detail onto there, that shading around the edge. And it's literally as simple as that. So all we're going to do is we're just going to repeat that same technique over all of your other centres of those daisies, and it's going to give you that lovely panel just like so. And I think it's nice to show that you don't always have to use that full size of the embossing folder. It's a gorgeous size 4" by 6" folder, but of course snip into it, use your die cuts or use all your different nesting dies and emboss those smaller areas. So it's not just about creating those larger cards or those larger panels, you can absolutely be using that embossing folder on smaller pieces as well. The beauty of having those larger folders is, of course, if you've got a smaller folder, you can't really do larger pieces, but if you've got a larger folder, you can do your smaller pieces as well, which gives you more versatility. So let's bring our card base back in and start to layer this together. So finding the folds on the left-hand side, of course, and then this is just going to lay into the middle, something a little bit like that. I think I'm completely out of my foam tape, but never mind, we'll have to go in with some of our foam pads instead. So I might just cut these down to size and do a double layer on the right hand side, just so it's sort of standing proud. Well, that didn't go too well, did it? Right, let's go in with these foam pads. The other ones are not plain balls, shall we say. So let's go in with our other smaller foam pads. Of course, if you are crafting at home, probably add a few more of these in for that extra little bit of stability. But just for speed and that extra bit of dimension, let's add some of these onto the right hand side. And then that's just going to line up onto the centre of our card base. Just making sure I've got an even border, top and bottom, left and right, just like so. I've also got a little bow that we can actually pop onto the bottom of our ribbon there, just to finish it off nicely. Then we have also got, let's just add a little bit more tape just to anchor those tails into position a little bit nicer. That's going to sit onto there nicely like so. We've got a little sentiment that I've actually stamped using one of our sentiment stamps, and that's just going to go onto that top right hand side with our Have a Magical Day, which I think is really quite a sweet sentiment to have onto your cards. So that's just going to go onto that top right hand side, something a little bit like that. And then we've also got a couple of dragonflies that we've just die cut from some of our same linen card that we use for our mats and layers. Like I say, I've got a couple, but we might add one down there and then one on the top left as well for that balance. So let's bring in our dotty tape pen once again, adding that just to the centre of the body rather than on the wings. We want those wings to have that little bit of dimension, so just add a little bit of the tape just to the body rather than all over that die cut image. And we're going to have one flying onto that right hand side, I think around about there, making sure those wings have got plenty of dimension. And then our other one will have flying on that bottom right hand corner, just like I say, for that extra little bit of balance and as that finishing touch. So that's just going to go onto that bottom edge, something a little bit like that, I think, just to finish our card off.
Lovely.
How pretty is that? Using
Really
just a few
pretty.
elements from the collection, that focus in the background being those beautiful papers, but showing how you could bring your pens and your inks together to create really quite pretty layered toppers.
That is really nice. I like that a lot. Very, very pretty. Caroline says, Lily, I knew Becky was crackers, but you were a level above.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no denying that one. I am absolutely mad. There we go.
And Jodie says that everyone needs to wish me a happy vacation. Drink some margaritas for her, maybe 2 or 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I might partake in a margarita or a glass of wine. You'd rather... I'm going to eat nachos for Nicola.
Oh.
I'm not overly keen on nachos, but I'll...
Are you not? Oh, good grief.
I mean, what do you mean by nachos? Do you mean when you get a bag of
Nachos.
Doritos and you just grate some cheese on it and put it in the microwave?
No, proper nachos with all your sour cream, your salsa, your guacamole, all the good stuff with some of your jalapenos on top as well. Yep, there you go. Went all in the lingo there, didn't we?
No.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to avocado, so it's definitely not something I want to do.
No.
I know. I don't like avocado. I don't know. No, it's not for me, and I'm not keen on tomatoes either.
Oh dear.
I know, really difficult, and I don't like lamb, Mum.
Well, me and you both.
You might have lamb. Might have minced lamb on the top. No.
That sounds absolutely revolting.
No, okay.
You've just ruined my nachos. Not happy. No.
No, I'm not keen on nachos. I don't like fajitas either.
Oh dear. What about burrito?
What am I going to eat? I don't know.
Quesadilla?
I don't know. A quesadilla, I like a quesadilla.
Oh, I do love a quesadilla,
I do
yeah.
like a quesadilla.
Chimichanga, yeah, black bean
what is
chimichangas.
that?
It's like a fried burrito. Yeah, my mum makes the most amazing black bean chimichangas. Oh, they're gorgeous.
I'm not keen on
Absolutely
beans.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
I don't think we
sorry,
can be friends
sorry.
anymore.
I might just have to stay here. Stay here.
I'll
and
go for you instead.
Keep
it's fine.
crafting. Why not? We're going to go for a quick break while everyone berates me about my food choices. I'll see you in a couple of moments. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club, and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly
What
how
does she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
There once was a man who was very crafty. His name was Craig from Carnoustie. He joined the team on Crafters TV. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He wanted to prove he was the man, but he lost at Craft Wars to Leanne. But 2 weeks later he beat Jan. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He did so well on Crafters TV, Sarah sent him off to Germany, where he did some work for QVC. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty men come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. His crafting skills, they aren't half bad. In fact, I'd say they're totally rad. That's mainly down to his favourite foam pads. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty men come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. The crafters, they loved him a lottie for his charm and skill. They went quite potty, they nicknamed him the Hardy Scotty. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty men come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. In the crafting world, he's standing tall. He's the best Scottish crafter of them all. Catch him Monday to Friday on his wake-up call. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live.
I've just discovered the Macarena works perfectly with that song. And now I'm really out of breath. No, I've not seen. There's a girl that on TikTok that Macarenas to every single song and says it fits, really. I might have to try that. Now, I have a question. This is from Stephanie. She says, we saw a vegan cake in the grocery store. Anyone know what a vegan cake is? Hubby wants to know. Now, Lily has a really cool recipe for a vegan cake.
Yes. A vegan cake, the clue's in the name, is a cake that's vegan, i.e. it's got no animal products in it.
It's not made of vegans.
It's not made of vegan. Well, I hope not, because in that case it wouldn't be vegan.
No.
So no animal products, no eggs, no dairy, of course, no meat or anything like that, no gelatin. But honestly, you should have given it a go. They are just as good, if not better. I'm biased, like, but
and the one that you were telling us this morning.
Oh, okay. There's sort of like a magic hack. You might have seen this online, but honestly, it works. All you need to do is get a packet of ready-made cake mix.
Yep.
Lots of brands do them. So your cake mix. Quite often you have to add butter, eggs, all that sort of thing.
Yep.
All you do, a can of fizzy pop. Any fizzy pop. It can be your cola. It can be lemonade. It can be cream soda. Any sort of fizzy pop. Pour it into your mixture. Mix it around, bake it in the oven like you would a normal cake, and it turns into a proper cake. Wow. First time I did it, I was like, well, this is not going to work. I've seen it on the internet. This is going to be absolute garbage. I'm going to come out with a hot mess. Honestly, it works. It's incredible.
Fantastic.
Honestly, best hack ever. If you want a quick cake, give it a go.
Yeah, and really good if you don't happen to have any eggs or butter or oil or whatever around. Yeah, well, then we started talking about, I make a chocolate and Guinness cake, which is really nice. And then we said, well, maybe you could get a chocolate cake mix and then pour some Guinness in it. But it's not that fizzy, is it, Guinness? And I think that works better with cola. I don't think we want to be sparkling water. I think you need something with a bit of sugar in it.
No, it can be sparkling water.
Really?
It's the fizziness you need, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. Not only do we give you crafting tips, philosophical questions like, would you rather swim in maple syrup or chocolate spread, but we're also giving you cookery inspiration as well. Why not? Why not? Right, so we're going to look at the Kingfisher collection, and I've got 2 bundles here. The first one I'm going to show you features things like the stamps and the dies and the embossing folders. So the first item I'm going to show you is the 3D folder. This is your Halcyon Days. Beautiful here with that Kingfisher just coming out of the sea or the water. It looks beautiful then. This next one here is your beautiful blossom stencils to create those layerable stencils to create that beautiful little flower at the end. Then we have your river reeds. These are a set of stamps and dies to create these kind of images that you've got here. There's quite a lot in these bundles, actually. This next one is your entwined wreath. I mean, I think that is a die you will use a lot. It is really, really pretty. You could use that for all parts of the year, to be honest. And this next one here is your By the River embossing folder. Really pretty. I mean, that to me looks like when I read Wind in the Willows, that is a kind of image that I have in my head. I do sometimes read Wind in the Willows, yes. I have it on my Kindle, it makes me feel happy. And then we've got stamps, and these are all occasion stamps, and I always like what fonts we come up with for the stamps. Different kind of size here, really pretty then. This is Nature's Silhouette, a really lovely set of stamps that you've got here to create all of those kind of imagery from down by the river. Next one is your Flying Gem stamp and die set. So this is your beautiful Kingfisher. That is gorgeous. Next one is your In Flight. This is beautiful, and this is one of those creator card dies where you can lift up elements of it to make it really look like it's 3D. We then have a stamp set. This is a stamp and die set. This is your Blue Lightning with that Kingfisher just on a little perch. And then finally in this bundle we have your blossoming floral border. That is very, very pretty as well. So this bundle is £75 or $96. You've got a 10% saving on this. Platinum price is £60 or $76.80 is your platinum price. Lily, these are beautiful as well. I mean, all the collections we're showing today are absolutely stunning, aren't they?
They certainly are, but I think this one is perfect for your masculine makes as well. So if you want to create something for the gents in your life, I think this collection is going to be absolutely ideal. But of course, true Lily style, we're going to sort of flip that on its head and create something pretty in pink, because why on earth not? So let's start off with that beautiful blossoming floral border die, and this is an edgeable style die. So like we were saying earlier with that gorgeous daisy chain, what that's going to allow you to do is have one side that's going to cut into your cardstock and the other side that's actually going to cut out of your cardstock to give you that edgeable feature on the sides of, it could be a panel here like we're going to do, it could be onto the sides of a box, it could be onto your actual card base itself. Lots of options with your edgeable dies, but it gives you that beautiful detail cutting into one side of your cardstock. So the waist is going to be that right hand side of our card. So of course we are adding our low tack tape onto that right hand side of our cardstock. Linen cardstock, once again our lovely white linen card, and all we're going to do is just run that through our die cut machine, and that's going to cut that beautiful edge onto our cardstock. So gorgeous detail die, so much intricacy within this beautiful border. You could be using it all year round, changing up those colourways. It could be for spring, for summer, absolutely beautiful. And of course you can actually be paper piecing this one as well if you so choose. So all it is a case of doing is just popping out all those pieces. You can see they've cut absolutely perfectly. You can see that from the reverse. All of those die cut pieces are just going to come out of your die, and then as well you've got all of the pieces just to pop out of that die. Just take a minute or two to actually remove all those pieces, but once you've gone ahead and done exactly that, you're going to end up with something that's going to look a little bit like that. So you've got your gorgeous design on there, that die cut border that just goes along the edge of your piece of cardstock. Just a beautiful floral design that of course you could be paper piece, you could be snipping into, but what we're going to do here is we're actually going to pop some colour behind. So we've got our matten layer that this is going to go onto, but for me that's almost like a little bit too much of a contrast. We want to make that look a little bit more subtle with that particular design. So we've taken a piece of the 12 by 12 paper pad and we're going to lay that in there first and then pop our detail over the top.
Oh,
and
nice.
Doesn't that break it up?
Yeah.
Just adds that extra bit of interest. I think that looks absolutely lovely. Using the 12 by 12 paper pad, but for this we're actually using the reverse. A little bit of B-side loving for this particular demo. You know I do like the B-sides of the paper, because if we were to add our die cut over the top of there, it does get lost a little bit with that more heavy design. So by using the reverse, where you've got that more subtle print, it's going to be absolutely ideal. So let's just lay that onto there like so. And then we're going to add that over the top, but we are going to bring some of our foam into the mix here just to raise that up that little bit more and give that extra added interest. I have got myself a brand new foam tape. I mean, look at the size. I always call it the big wheel when we've got a fresh one with plenty of foam on there. But how long that lasts is usually not very long for me, let's be honest. But plenty of foam onto the back of there to make sure we're not going to have it sort of dip or sag in the middle. So a nice piece into the centre there to support that middle section of this particular panel.
If you'd bought some funky foam, could you use that instead?
Yeah, absolutely. You can cut that down to size and then you can just add your tacky glue on the back if you so choose. I just find it's an awful lot easier to use your foam in a roll with it already being adhesive on both sides. But you can do that, of course, with your funky foam if you so choose. So let's just line that up onto there like so. And that's going to give us the basis of our card. So that's going to be our topper, but for our card base, we're actually going to create it a little bit smaller and rectangular. We're going to have this almost like overhanging over the top of your card base, just to give you that little point of difference. So same pattern paper that we used for that backing panel, but this time we're actually using the A side, that more heavy pattern design where you've got all those layers, all of that gorgeous printed design onto your pattern paper. That's going to be the front for this particular section. So let's just line that up onto there. And then that's going to go onto our card base that we've created using some of our white linen card. So let's add some of our Collal all-purpose onto the back of that, just like so. And then that's going to go in the middle of our card base, lining it up left and right, top and bottom. And then our top is actually going to sort of hang over the top just like so. Quite like that effect. It gives you that little point of difference, something a little bit different rather than having all your mats and layers sort of going down in size. Why not have your topper actually going over the edge of the card base? I think it gives you that nice little different look and feel. So a few bits of foam tape are going to go onto the back of our topper just to stand this proud from our card base. And then that's going to be the basis, all the mats and layers of our card. And then it's just going to be a case of bringing in all of our decorations and working in lots of elements from this gorgeous collection. So line that up onto there just like so. Now though, let's bring in another of the beautiful dies that we've got as part of this collection. This one being the entwined wreath, and it's certainly a die that you'll be using time and time again. It's a very useful die for using alongside lots of other items that we have in our crafty stash. It could be florals that you have created, maybe using your vellums, maybe using your papers, your foam. It could be pre-made flowers that you're adorning it with, or you could be cutting it in your craft card and adding some brown ink to the edges for a really masculine, more autumnal look and feel. Really useful die, and we're going to be running that through our die cutting machine using that gorgeous pattern paper. Once again, using the reverse so it's a little bit more subtle, so we've not got that really heavy printed design onto this delicate die cut. So one pass through the die cutting machine, and then that's going to give us our beautiful die cut onto here. So let's just take a moment to pop that out of our die, just finding those release holes, and then once you've found it, it's just a case of easing that out of your die, and you've got that
really pretty,
gorgeous detail. Look at that, isn't that just absolutely beautiful? All of the sort of leaves you've got in there, the little berries, you've got all of those branches as well. I think it's just an absolutely beautiful die. And what we've gone ahead and done already is we're actually die cutting another one, but using some of that pink cardstock because we want to layer these together to make it a little bit fuller, give it that extra bit of depth and fullness to this particular design. So let's go in with some of our dotty tape pen onto the back of there, just into select places to make sure this is just going to anchor it into position. So a little bit onto the back of there. And then I'm not trying to drop shadow this, I'm just offsetting it. So I think I'm going to have that section there, that sort of inner branch on opposite sides, just to layer that together. And then that's going to go onto the centre of our card base, just for that bit of interest, to start to fill out that white space and start to build our card. So we've got a little bit of an anchor point as to where we can start to layer on top our focal point, which is going to be one of those gorgeous kingfishers, of course. So just a little bit of tacky glue as well on the back to make sure this is going to be nice and secure in position onto our card base. We have used 2 layers here, but of course you could go in with multiples, with extra layers if you so choose. If you really want to make that wreath really quite full and voluptuous, then absolutely you can be doing that. But let's just place that into the middle there, just like so. Give that a moment to grab. With it being our tacky glue onto there, it will just take a few minutes for that glue to set and hold, but we'll leave that to one side while that's doing just that. Then we've taken our fantastic Flying Gem stamp and die set. We've stamped it already onto some of our Nina cardstock, and then we're going to do a bit of die cutting. So you also get that outline die included as part of this collection as well. So all you need to do is take your outline die, lay that over the top of your stamped image, and then just literally run that through your die cutting machine with your low tack tape. So making sure that you've got an even border all around the edge of that stamp line and the die, and that's going to give you that perfect thin little couple of mils of white space around the edge of that die cut. And like I was saying on the show earlier, with stamps and dies like these, where you've got your open space in the centre of your die, I prefer to stamp first, then die cut, and then finally I will do my colouring, which is what we're going to do in just a moment. We've stamped that onto our Nina cardstock using one of our Finesse alcohol-proof ink pads, this one being our Flagstone, because we're going to colour it using our tri-blend, so we need an ink pad that is alcohol-proof for this particular technique that we're doing. So running that through, and it gives us, with one pass through the machine, that beautiful, not only stamped, but also die cut image that we can get colouring with any of our chosen colouring mediums to give us that lovely finish onto there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use some of our tri-blends. So let's leave that to one side for just a moment, pop our dies into there, and let's bring in our tri-blend pens. So here we've got some of our tri-blend brush pens, and we're going to go in with, let's go in with our green turquoise blend. So we'll start off, as always, with our lightest of that 3-pen blend, laying this down onto the areas of this particular image, which would be the palest sections of this design. And then we're just going to start to build up the layers by using our darker colour tones. Just while I'm doing this, have we got any funny questions, any funny would you rathers come in? I'm all ears if any of you guys at home have got any funny propositions for us. We'd love to hear.
We don't. The only question we've got is Stephanie asking if you'll share your cake recipe.
My cake recipe?
On your Facebook page.
All it is a packet mix and a kind of fizzy pop. That's all it is. It's not a recipe. No. But in terms of vegan cakes, I do a lot of different vegan cakes, but I have to say none of them are really my own recipes. I tend to just go onto search engines and have a little look. But for me, I always, my go-to for baking tends to be brownies because they're a little bit easier. I always think a bit more forgiving to make than a cake. Yeah. So
what do you put in your brownies? Do you put nuts in your brownies or?
All sorts of different inclusions. I quite like nut butters, melted chocolate chips. Of course, as long as it's dairy-free chocolate, you're good to go. But I have to say one of my favourites, and don't knock it till you've tried it. Yeah. Black bean brownies.
Oh, Lily, that sounds disgusting.
So you can't, I know it does, it sounds absolutely awful, doesn't it? But the thing is, you can't taste the black beans, it's a texture thing. So what you do is, of course, you have to whiz it up in your food processor. Yeah. And it turns it into almost like a fudgy sort of consistency. It's bizarre, I know it sounds awful, but believe you me, you cannot taste the beans whatsoever. It's just about giving you that lovely fudgy texture, and they are amazing.
Okay.
It's one of those, whenever I give them to friends and family, I don't tell them what's in it first. And they'll eat it and they'll go, oh, that's delicious, love it, also, all that sort of thing. And I'll say, there's a secret ingredient in there. They'll be like, what? I say it's black beans, and honestly, you cannot taste it at all. They never ever believe that black beans is what gives it that texture.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to be a little bit careful if you ever offer me a brownie.
There you go, yeah.
But no, you've got to try these different things. I mean, I would never have thought that you could use fizzy drinks in baking, but that makes sense. I do like a brownie, and I like the idea of using different kind of nut butters in a brownie.
Oh yeah, peanut butter, almond butter, walnut butter. Oh yeah, absolutely. I quite like to make my own nut butters as well. That's something I do quite like doing.
My friend gave me a recipe for devilled brownies, and they have cinnamon and red cherries in, and actually they're very nice.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I do love cinnamon. Cinnamon is a lovely, lovely spice. I always think something very Christmassy about cinnamon as well.
Absolutely.
Big fan of that for certain. So what we've gone ahead and done, just while we're chatting about food and brownies and all the rest of it, standard, is we've just coloured up our lovely little kingfisher. Perhaps not your more traditional colours, but of course, artistic licence when we are crafting. You can be using any colourways you so choose. That is completely down to you and what's going to match with the papers and other elements you've got on your design. So all we're going to do to finish this off is bring in some more of that foam tape. I'm going to have this gorgeous kingfisher into the centre of our wreath. So just a piece into the centre with some of that shaping onto his wings to give him a little bit more life and dimension. He's just going to go not stuck to my finger like it was trying to there. He's just going to go onto the centre like so. We've also got a sentiment, of course, included as part of that collection. And we've gone for Celebrate Your Day, so could be used for a real range of different occasions. Any sort of celebration, this is going to be absolutely ideal. A couple of foam pads onto the back of there, just like so. And that's going to be that finishing touch onto our design. Using a few different elements from that collection, some of our dies, some of our stamps, and of course, those amazing pattern papers as well. Have I made an Australian card? No, I haven't, thank goodness for that, I did wonder. Woof, phew, there we go, that is our finished card using that amazing Kingfisher collection.
That is lovely, I really like that, it's something a little bit different. And I like using that entwined wreath. I think that entwined wreath is lovely. So this is the Kingfisher collection that we've got here. You've got loads and loads of different elements in there, £75 or $96, platinum price is £60 or $76.80. Now we do need to do the vote for demo of the show. show, and we need to do vote for demo of the day. I'm just putting it out there, Lily, you're going to win.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'll be disappointed if not.
Yeah, we're going to have to be very quick.
Absolutely. So should we start off with a demo of the show? So first up, created using that amazing Nature's Garden Delightful Daisies. That is demo number 1, if you want to go for that one. Next up, we brought in that lovely vintage rose, or as Becky just calls it, the rose collection, for demo number 2. Demo number 3, we went back to those fantastic daisies as part of that Nature's Garden collection there. That's demo number 3. And if you want to go for this one, the one we've just created, that is going to be demo number 4. So 1, 2, 3 or 4, up to you guys at home. Get those votes in.
Yeah, you're going to have to be quick, everybody. Everyone's loving what you're making. Laurie says, I love that wreath die. Patricia says, I love the collection. It is really, really beautiful. Rosalind says, adorable card, Lily. And they are absolutely beautiful collection. Shall I show the papers? Can I show you the papers while we've got time, while you're getting your votes in? The vote is going to be quick vote, so please be quick here. So this has got a selection of pads. So you've got a 12 by 12 paper pad here. You've also got the 8 by 8 vellum pad. We've talked a lot about vellum here. There's going to be lots of vellum in there to inspire you. You've also got the 6 by 6 paper pad as well. And obviously that is just a smaller version of the 12 by 12. But you've also got the linen cardstock. So I'm really making Jamie work hard here. Lots of different colours. If I show that on the other side, you can see all those different colours. So you've got some really sort of dark colours as well as those really bright pinks. Now I will flick through here so you can see the different papers, because they are, as always, glorious. Not only do you have on the very back, you've got some sentiments there, but you've got that really vivid sort of rainbows of colours, beautiful dark indigo blues, turquoises and the pinks, are really full of life, full of happiness in this collection. As always, we've got one side that is very intricate, very detailed, and the other one is a bit more muted, using the same colours, but they are just so very, very pretty. You will find that the vellums echo those patterns as well, and of course the 6 by 6 paper pads have the same images but just on a smaller scale. The price for this is £43 or $59. The platinum price is £34.40 or $47.20. And obviously that's going to work really well with the other collection that we have for the Kingfisher, with all of those dies and stamps, etc. Lovely collection here. Right, demo of the show was number 3.
Number 3?
Lily. It was very close.
Which was this one?
Yeah, that one.
Lovely, there we go.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to get would you mind bringing it over so I can do the vote for demo of the day? Just get you to work. Otherwise I could just leave. Yeah, no, I'll just disappear. Bye, 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 bye. Boo! Right. I did that earlier on, didn't I? I made everyone jump. Yeah, I scared Nicola. I didn't make you jump. Right, now, the first one was this beautiful one using that scruffy little cat stamp here. That is absolutely beautiful. This is number 1. Then we have number 2, which was that crafted along with that beautiful hearts on the box. And then number 3 is this one here with the delightful daisies. Please do get your votes in, 1, 2 or 3. Very difficult to choose today, actually. Lily, when are you, we've only got a minute left. Lily, when are you next over this side? Because obviously you'll be in on Monday anyway.
Absolutely, yes. I am back in on Monday for Monday Makers, 6 o'clock UK time. Very much looking forward to that. We have a launch on Monday, which I'll be sneaking into Monday Makers, but lots more goodies coming up. Got quite a few shows next week, so tomorrow, busy day prepping for me. I'll start tonight when I get back. I'll be burning the midnight oil, but it's been lovely to be here all day today with you guys at home. Thank you, Becky. I've had a fab day.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone who's joined us at home as well.
It's been brilliant, lovely day. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm hoping that we might get the answer, but I know we're leaving it very much to the last minute. It has been a wonderful weekend, as always. I hope you've enjoyed all the shows. I'm not going to be back until the 16th of February. I just checked on my phone.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm missing Chinese New Year, going hey fat choy to everybody, and I'm missing Valentine's Day.
Oh dear.
I know, it's not very good. Make sure you pop your chocolates, my chocolates, in my little drawer in the green room for Valentine's Day from you.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why on earth
right.
not?
Now, the winner is number 2. Woo! Congratulations. Well done, Lily. Lovely to see you all. This is the winner. Watch tomorrow. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.